Yes, guys, what is going on? It's Dan. Welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing? We all doing good? We're all doing good. Friday, got that Friday feeling. Feels good. I haven't really made a video since Monday, and I'll tell you what, lots and lots and lots has gone on in the world of Manchester United and football in general. I hope we're all doing well. I hope we're all doing well. We are live, and there is lots to talk about. Now, where do I start? Where do I start? First of all, I'm going to start with one matter. Yes, one matter. The Spanish magician matter. Now, a lot of fans, when speaking about one matter, have only good things to say about him. And I'm one of those fans. I only have good things to say about one matter. However, one thing which cannot be challenged is the fact that one matter over last season, many could argue, has not been good enough. He's not been good enough. And he is a player who will be earning a lot of money. He is a player that's over the age of 30, and questions do have to be asked in regards to, does Juan Mata deserve a contract extension? Now, you've got to look past, you can't be looking at Juan Mata with rose-tinted glasses, because don't get me wrong, he's a beautiful footballer, a beautiful man, great personality, he knows what Manchester United is about, and to be quite frank, he's one of very few at the club that I genuinely have a like for them. I do like him as a person. Now, obviously, like I've just said, there is a lot to question and a lot to discuss in regards to, is Mata actually good enough to play for Manchester United? Look at that! Look at it! See the trim. Man's got a fresh trim. Yeah, done all right, didn't he? Done all right. So yeah, back to the football. Does he deserve a new contract? Well, whether or not you think he has or he hasn't, he's been given a new contract. 2 years, a 2-year contract with the option of a further year. Now, in the football universe, especially the Manchester United universe, there's a lot of unhappy fans, lads. There is a lot of unhappy fans in regards to the Juan Mata contract extension. Now, understandably, I see where they're coming from. He done absolutely nothing I say absolutely nothing. He done very little. He had very little impact, very little effect, positive effect on the team last season, when, arguably it was our worst season in Moyes. Yeah, we finished seventh. Fucking seventh. Worst season than Moyes. Where we finished seventh. Did we finish seventh? I think we finished seventh. He was nowhere to be found. He's got a good goal against Juventus, a good free kick. He's been involved here and there, but does he warrant a new contract? Now, the main reason I'm feeling why people are so angry with the Juan Mata extension is because if he's to leave, then you know that the board are likely to buy a replacement. Now, he's on big money, over 100 and something grand a week. Whoever you are, he's on fucking 100. Imagine being on 130 grand a week. Ridiculous. But yeah, he's on big money. He's a senior player. He's taken up a place in the squad that the likes of a new signing could probably get, or the likes of an Angel Gomez could take up. So I understand why a lot of people are frustrated with the Juan Mata contract extension, and believe me, I do semi kind of share the frustration. Not because Juan Mata's get the contract extension, because I'll be quite honest with you, I personally would have preferred Mata stay at the club than he leave, because of the fact that him at the club, he's not going to play week in, week out, but he's going to have a positive effect on the dressing room. He's going to have an aura in that new signings and youth footballers, youth players are going to look up to him and think, you know what, that is what I aspire to be like, that kind of professional. If you don't have that in the dressing room, you've got a Paul Pogba. Do you want new signings to be looking up to a Paul Pogba if he is there next summer? Jesse Lingard, you can see with the effect that Jesse Lingard has had on Marcus Rashford. And I know a lot of people are not happy with Jesse Lingard at the moment because of his antics off the field. He's been absolutely useless in a Manchester United shirt. and then he goes off and acts like a clown on social media. I know a lot of people have got a bone to pick with Jesse Lingard. Me personally, to be honest, with Jesse Lingard, I don't really care whether he's what he does off the field. I really don't. If he wants to act a tool off the field, then he's only damaging his own image. You know what I mean? I care about what he will do in a Manchester United shirt. And to be quite honest, he's done nothing in a Manchester United shirt for the last 18 months. You know, a few spells here and there, a goal against Arsenal in the FA Cup. But to be quite honest with you, very, very disappointing. And if he was not a Manchester United youth player, he would be nowhere near that first team. So, but you know, he's a favourite of Ollie. Where do you go? What do you do with the likes of a Jesse Lingard? My stance on it is he will be, I think, in Ollie's starting 11 next year, because I don't think we're signing a right winger, boys. I really don't. I think we're going to hold out for next season, try and get by, try and get top 4, and then next season we're going to go after Sancho. Now, signing Sancho, yeah, I'm a bit of that. Absolutely, give me a bit of that. But this time next year, after Sancho has another brilliant season for Dortmund, mate, the likes of Barcelona, the likes of Bayern Munich, the likes of Juventus, the likes of Real Madrid, even Man City will come back sniffing around Jadon Sancho. You know, we're not an attractive proposition now. We're getting turned down by the likes of Rabiot, apparently. We're being turned down by the likes of De Ligt, apparently. You know, so is it a wise move to hold out for Sancho next year? Me personally, go and get him now. 100 million. There you go, Dortmund. 100 million. Jadon Sancho. I know you want Champions League football, but I'll tell you what, you'll be compensated for that. And if we don't make it next year into Champions League, you'll be compensated again. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be aggressive in this transfer window. We finished 6th. We sacked our manager halfway through the season. We signed 3 players last summer. None of them were first team players. We need reinforcements. If you're watching, Ed, pull your fucking finger out, mate, and fucking shine someone. But on a serious note, yeah, it's not looking good, boys. Could you deal with Jesse Lingard or Juan Mata on the right again next season? Me personally, no. Please, no. I couldn't deal with it. Not again. Not after last year. Honestly, no. Gives me shivers just the thought of it. Now, Mata in a central role behind 2 strikers with legs around him, that's a different story. Because Juan Mata is still a magician. Jesse Lingard, he's got good energy, good tempo, good movement. Can he be a player that maybe will be useful? I'm trying not to be too critical here. Can he be useful next season? He has to be. We need him. We need players like Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford to step up and bring us to where we need to be as a football club. Because to be honest, you're doing absolutely F all in a Manchester United shirt, and then you go in and you're letting out crude videos on your Snapchat. Everyone's slating you. You're embarrassing the club. So please, Jesse, just concentrate on your football, lad. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're doing your bits, you're doing this and that. I'm not telling you how to live your life. You're living the life of a footballer. You're living the dream, mate. You're living the dream. Enjoy the dream. But all I'm asking is, we dream of being back to where we were under Fergie. So, you know, do what you can to help us there. I don't want to go in. Quickly on Juan Mata, where I stand, I'm happy. I am happy that we've signed Juan Mata because, like I've said, he's a good character. My only issue is, if we sign Juan Mata, does that mean that we're not signing another attacker? If that's the case, then giving Juan Mata a contract extension is the wrong move. However, if we're signing Juan Mata and we're still going to be signing more players, we're going to be signing an attacker, we're going to be signing 2 midfielders that I'll get onto, we're signing a centre-back, we're signing a right-back, then keeping Juan Mata is a brilliant, brilliant move, especially given it on a technically a 3-year contract, because you keep Juan Mata for a year, you keep him for 2 years, you've got to sell on value. Now, you might get only 5 million quid, but that covers his wages for the next 2 years that you're going to have him. So it's a good move, but we've got to make sure that we're bringing in the signings that we need. Because if we're not, Ed Woodward, I'm not making threats. I'm not saying that I'll do it. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not this year, but I will come for you. No, I'm only joking. Liam Neeson will, but, you know, Taken is, you know, the first 2 were decent, but the third one was a bit meh. But the first one, I'll tell you what, the first Taken, I'm a big fan. Yes, Ed Woodward, fucking get your fucking finger out and makes me sick. Apparently, news has come out, right, that the United board are only able to do a deal at a time. Imagine that. Imagine being the most marketable, richest football club in the world, and the people at the wheel, not Ollie, the Glazers and Ed Woodward, can't even deal with 2 transfers simultaneously. You know, it's mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling. So Matter, in summary, if we're bringing in new talent, good quality players to complement Matter in the squad, that are going to complement, Matter isn't a starting 11. If we're going to bring in starting 11 players, then the likes of Matter in that dressing room can only be positive. And if you're moaning about one Matter, just, have a bit of class about you and think, we are Manchester United at the end of the day, and I'm seeing our fan base very slowly edge into what Real Madrid fans are like, and we're not like that, boys. Come on, sort it out. Have a bit of class, have a bit of respect. Don't be, I looked at the comments on when Man United announced one Matter, and it's disgraceful. It's disgraceful, in my opinion, because Matter's been a great servant. Don't get me wrong, he's not been a Ronaldo for us, but he's been one of the better players since Fergie's left. So, a bit of respect, and I think, if come the end of the summer and we haven't signed any attackers and we haven't signed any creative midfielders, and we've only extended one Matter's contract, then we can be fucking worried. Then I'll be, then the alarm bells will be ringing and be thinking, right, lads. And I said it earlier, I said this summer will be the summer where we will realise whether or not the board and the Glazers actually value us as a club that will be winning trophies and up there at the top of the table, or if we will become a new Arsenal when top 4 is all that we need. So, yeah, lads. Yeah, but yeah, Matter, big fan. I'm happy. Right, next up, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, news broke, I think, Monday or Tuesday night by Duncan Castles that Manchester United had agreed a £55 million, well, it was 47, rising up to 55 million in fees. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking Manchester United, we're talking football, we're talking Matter, we're talking a lot, really. Tell me, who do you support? What team do you support? And we'll have a chat. Currently, we're talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, obviously, I don't know if you heard Duncan Castles, who was very pro Mourinho. He got a lot of things right during Mourinho's sort of reign because everyone thought that he was sort of in bed with Mourinho. Since Mourinho left, he's not. He's obviously thought of, now Mourinho's not there. Is he reliable as such? Now, a lot of the bigger media companies, obviously, once they saw Duncan Castles coming out and talking about the Aaron Wan-Bissaka deal being done, they all come out and said, no, he's wrong. He's not. It's not done. In fact, there's plenty more that needs to be done. Now, Mark Goldbridge, you probably know him, of the United Stand. Now, he had an interesting sort of theory on it, and he said that Duncan Castles actually has jumped the gun. And what he's done is, instead of actually reporting the news, he's actually tweeted it a couple of days, maybe even a week early, and sort of hit around a ballpark of 55 million, 47 million. It is expected that Manchester United will sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and I'm probably 95% sure that we will. So what he believes is that Duncan Castles has actually jumped the gun and predicted that United will, by making it actually seem as if he is in the know. Now, obviously, if it comes true, which is very likely to, then he looks like he's in the know, and obviously he will get people will follow in, listening to his podcast, etc., etc. Now, obviously, since then, it's still been a couple of days since, and there's been no Wan-Bissaka news, which is a bit, hang on a minute. But what is very, very funny is that hashtag Glazers out, which I support, which I know a lot of people will have seen, has been spreading and being viral on Twitter, Glazers out and whatnot. After that night, after that evening of that being trending, apparently it's now been leaked that Aaron Wan-Bissaka's a done deal. Now, is that a little bit of a, are the Glazers thinking, hang on a minute, we're trending here. Let's give him a bit of positivity to chat about, etc. Now, do they think that Manchester United fans? Do they think football fans are stupid or very naive? I wouldn't put it past them. Now, I'm very, very critical and very, I actually do believe that they've done that on purpose, because it's very, how, Glazers out is trending, and then all of a sudden the news of Wan-Bissaka's done, and then a couple of days later, no deal's been done, and apparently from big media companies, oh, bloody hell, apparently from all these big media companies, it's nowhere near being done, and a couple of days later there's still no news of it. So either you think with clowns, or it is what it is. But yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, the sooner that deal is done, the better. I think it will be done, boys. It's just whether or not how long you intend to wait. If you're just joining us, we're talking football, we're talking Manchester United, we're talking a lot, really. So tell me, comment, who do you support? Get involved. Let's have a chat. Let me know who you support. I'll ask you a few questions, and we can have a bit of a discussion, lads. We've spoken about Mata. We've highlighted Mata. We've spoken Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Now, I just mentioned Glazers out. What's your opinion on Glazers out? If you're a Manchester United fan, if you are a Manchester United fan, if you are just joining us, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, big appreciation. We're talking football, we're talking Man United. Glazers out, right? Now, what's your opinion on Glazers out? Do you support Glazers out? I know a lot of people are. A lot of the big YouTubers are saying, "Oh yeah, like we support Glazers out, etc., etc." But it's not a thing where you jump on a bandwagon here and there. You've got to be Glazers out consistently. No, don't get me wrong. I agree with that. I 100% am Glazers out consistently, because you have to imagine over the last nearly 15 odd years they've been in charge of us. It's on that ballpark. They have invested a grand total of £0 of their own money. Contemplate that. £0 of the Glazers' own funds has been invested into Manchester United. All they just suck money out of the club and invest here and there just to keep us afloat. Now, if the likes of tweeting Glazers out is going to get us heard, and it's going to let the board know, and Ed Woodward know, and the Glazers know that we're not happy as fans, and it might sort of give them a little kick up the arse that they need, then by all means, sweet. I'll tweet Glazers out, send it. But in the grand scheme of things, look what it's done. We get treated as if we're stupid. We get treated as if we're stupid because Aaron Wan-Bissaka deal was apparently done the day after the Glazers out was tweeting. It's now Friday. Thank the Lord it's Friday, by the way. Get on the bevies after this. After the Aaron Wan-Bissaka deal was apparently done, no news. It's all gone quiet. So I do think they think we're silly. I do think they think we're naive. But we just got to wait and see, lads. We just got to wait and see, and hopefully, we'll either be bought out and the Glazers sell in a couple of years. But mate, this is what they don't understand, right? This is what they don't understand. A successful club is the best marketable tool there is, and it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. But yeah, enough of that. It sort of winds me up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And I know a lot of Manchester United fans will share similar distaste to the Glazer family. Bear with me while we see. I see we've had 3 people joined and no one's commented. Come on, lads. If you are joining, have a comment down below. Let's have a chat. Let's have a bit of interaction, shall we? Next up, Bruno Fernandes. Now, apparently there has been an update on Bruno Fernandes. He, for me, is the #1 target that United have got to sign this summer because he's just class, really. He's quality in front of goal. He's creative, and he's hungry. And I think we'll get him on the cheap, So apparently there's a lot of articles and Portuguese papers coming out and saying that, oh, yeah, the deal for United is a lot to do with United and saying, if you are just joining us, like I've said, comment down below, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're talking football. We're talking Manchester United at the moment. Let me know. Who do you support? I'll ask you a few questions. Let's have a chat. Let's have a bit of interaction. Yeah, I'm talking Bruno Fernandes. Now, yeah, like I've said, a lot of the news is coming out of the Portuguese papers, and they're using United's name a lot now. We're not silly, are we, boys? We're not silly. We've heard of Gaetan. We've been linked to. We know that you use Manchester United in the title, you're selling papers, you're selling numbers, you're getting the eyes, you're getting the clicks, etc. Are we being used? Now, I believe we are in for Bruno Fernandes, and I do believe we'll get him. Why it's taking so long, I put it down to the fact that our board are a bunch of useless schmegheads, to put it quite frank. How can you only be dealing with one deal at a time? I think that's ridiculous. I could fucking go in there and negotiate 2 deals at a time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go into it because we will be here all day if I am. But yeah, he has spoken. He's spoken of the fondness, or his fondness of United history. And to be honest, that's all we flipping got at the moment is a bit of fucking history. Because for the last 6 years, that last bit of history, I won't go into it because we're all aware of how useless you are. If you're a rival, laugh at us, enjoy it. Because I'll tell you what, the last 26 years before that, since 2013 under Fergie, from a rival's perspective, it must have been absolute misery watching United be as successful. Now look at where we are, where we can't even be bringing in, we can't even attract fucking players now because we're so down on our knees. But we'll be back. We will be back. I'm positive that we will be back eventually. Whether or not we do a Liverpool and go 30 years without a title is a different story. I won't get into that because I'll get a little bit emotional and all that, and I don't really want to be doing that on stream. But yeah, he's spoken of that. He's fond of the history of Manchester United. Who wouldn't be? You know, we've got a great history. Yeah, Ed, just get him in, boys. Just get him in, Ed Woodward. Come on, mate. Do the business. Get him in. If you're just joining, like I've said, comment down below. We're talking football. We're talking Manchester United. We've spoken about Mata. We've spoken about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We've spoken about #Glazers out. We've spoken about Bruno Fernandes. Let me know who you support. Do you support Man United? Are you a rival? Let me know what your opinion is on United at the moment. If you're a rival, you know, do you see us as potentially coming back? Or do you think that's it now? We're done for. Comment, let me know. Give us a like if not. Last but not least, lads, Ndombele. Now, he is a player that I'm very fond of. Under about 5'10", quick off the ground, good feet, reasonable passing, good dribbler. Do you support Chelsea? Okay, well, Chelsea, how are you feeling about Chelsea at the moment? Is it Ruben? Transfer ban. I think Sarri's just been confirmed as Juventus manager. How do you feel about Sarri leaving Chelsea? Because personally, a bit odd. What's a bit? Oh, you feel a bit odd about Chelsea's current transfer standings? Because what's the story in regards to your transfer ban? Is it currently being? Is it active now? Are you not unable to sign players now, or what's the story? Chelsea, I don't know. Chelsea a bit. It's a bit. Where are Chelsea? Where will Chelsea be? You know, especially losing. It's active now. Oh, it's active now. Wow. Okay, so that puts you in a bit of a pickle, isn't it? What I'm really interested in is, as a Chelsea fan, who do you want to be your manager next season? Obviously, Sarri's left. Frank Lampard is obviously the main one. Is it too early for Frank Lampard? Do you know what I mean? Does he need a little bit more to prove himself? The only thing we have is Pulisic. Now, I agree. I think Pulisic is a great player. Young, from obviously Dortmund. Now, what having Pulisic will do for Chelsea is the fact that you will now have a good, hungry, young prospect from the American market. Now, that will attract American eyes, that will attract American numbers, American money, which, you know, is only good in the grand scheme of things. But the concern with Pulisic is he's not proven, is he? He's not an Eden Hazard, and you've obviously lost Eden Hazard. You've not got Morata. I don't know if Higuain goes back. You know, Hudson-Odoi. Me personally, huge fan of Hudson-Odoi. Huge fan of Hudson-Odoi. Every time I see Hudson-Odoi play, I'm in awe of him. I just think baller, absolute baller. Personally, I would have loved United to Callum. What? I'm not sure who's Callum. Callum Hudson-Odoi, innit? Yeah, Callum Hudson. Yeah, Hudson-Odoi, baller. He's out of contract. I think at the end of the year, personally, when I heard that, you know, obviously he's injured now, I would have snapped up Hudson-Odoi. Do you know what? I would even potentially be interested in swapping Martial for Hudson-Odoi. That is how much I rate Hudson-Odoi. He's phenomenal. He really is phenomenal. You can keep him, and I think he will get starting football next season. You will have a real player on your hands that you can develop and can, you know, hopefully get Chelsea. Well, I say hopefully from your perspective, from a United perspective, I hope you stay below us wherever we stay. But yeah, you know, Chelsea, I think, I like United at the moment. We are a bit, you know, middle ground. We don't know what's going. We don't know who's going and who's staying. He's young and talented with Pulisic. Yeah, exactly. So you know, you're a bit like us. You've got young prospects that next season, which is good because you've not got the likes of Hazard in the way that are going to prevent the growth of these youngsters. So in a way, you know, Chelsea, I think we can both agree you're not going to be winning the Premier League next season. We won't be winning the Premier League next season, but for both clubs, it will be a very good development year. The likes of Pulisic, the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi, the likes of he's mixed race. All the women love him. Tall fella, central of the park. What is he? How have I forgotten his name? He's injured. He got injured on tour for you. Oh, I'm having a. How have I forgot his name? I've forgotten his name. Loftus-Cheek. There you go. Thank you very much. You are a star, Ruben. You're a clever fella. Thank you. Loftus-Cheek. Exactly. Spot on. Loftus-Cheek. The likes of Loftus-Cheek coming through. You know, you've got a potential strong skeleton there, and if you can add the likes of class around there, keep the likes of Willian. I think obviously you've turned down a £35 million bid. Obviously, I think that's if Barcelona. If I was Chelsea and Barcelona come to me offering 35 million for Willian, I'd laugh in your face and say, "Get on your bike out," unless you want to swap us for Dembele like that. But yeah, from a Chelsea's perspective, I think we're in the same boat really. Very unsure what's going on. Don't know who's coming and who's going. Obviously, in regards to the transfers, our board are useless. But we've got young, good prospects at the club already who next year can prove and develop and hopefully get us both back into the top four. And let's hope the likes of Arsenal and well, I pray Man City or Liverpool don't get in it, but that's not really going to work, is it, lads? So, you know, maybe Tottenham. My top four prediction next year has got to be Man City, Liverpool for the top two. I want to say United and Chelsea. Obviously, Ruben, my new friend. If you haven't, I'd appreciate a like and I'd appreciate a subscribe. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for having a chat with me. I do appreciate it big time. Hopefully, our clubs can be in top four next year. Now, quickly, what I really quickly want to, before I go, I think with Man United, you need to just focus on the Prem since you have no cup to play for. Exactly. Very disappointing, especially with the fact that in regards to top four, it was like between Arsenal, Chelsea, and Man United. It was as if who could bottle it the most. And obviously, congrats to Chelsea making Champions League. That will do a lot for you next year. Obviously, give you something to play for. Whereas United and Arsenal, we're in the Europa League, and I agree with you. Definitely concentrate on the Prem because, like we said, your Prem is your bread and butter, and then hopefully, from a United perspective, United can establish ourselves well and truly in top four, and maybe go for an FA Cup or a League Cup, or even potentially the Europa League. But I don't have a lot of affection to the Europa League because it's your Thursday, Sunday. But don't get me wrong, I want to win it. Just as obviously, congratulations to you, Chelsea, the reigning holders of the Europa League, beating Arsenal 4-1, absolutely demolishing them. So obviously, yeah. So I'm congrats to you. But like I said, hopefully bread and butter, the Prem. We definitely need to be focusing on the Prem. Got to get back into that top four, and from there build upwards. You know, because I think like I've said, United are in the worst position we've been since Moyes. Excuse me for a sec. Can't beat a bit of H2O, you know. Cannot beat a bit of H2O. Now, Ndombele. What's your opinion on Ndombele? Have you heard of him, the Lyon French midfielder? What's your opinion on him? Now, apparently, United and Juventus have agreed personal terms with the midfielder, and apparently Tottenham are also involved. Now, the issue that I have with this is the fact that we've obviously agreed terms with the player, which is all good. You know, we paying whatever he wants. We need midfield reinforcements, especially with the likes of Paul Labille Pogba wanting out. I don't blame Pogba, but I don't think Pogba will leave because I don't think anyone will pay the money that United will want. But the stumbling block in regards to Ndombele is obviously the fact that Lyon are holding out for 90 or 80 million euros. He's obviously not worth that. For me, he's a 60, 70 tops midfielder, but he's good. Quick across the ground, box to box, can put a tackle in, tenacious good passing range, can dribble. Only problem from a Man United perspective, is he a little bit too close to a Fred? And obviously Fred, 55 million odd last season, hasn't proved himself. There's a lot to prove this summer, this league, this season. Will bringing in the likes of an Ndombele stunt the potential growth of a Fred? I say so. However, Man U need to also focus in defence because of Valencia. Oh, please don't get me started on our defence. It makes me feel sad when I talk about Manchester United defence. Obviously, I think are you talking of Antonio? Yeah, like I said, Antonio Valencia will be leaving at the end of the year. This season, I think he might have left or the start of July. He will leave. Good servant, back in his day, beast, absolute beast at right back in the early days of Van Gaal as well. But like I've said, thank you very much. Off you go. Now, obviously, United apparently have done a deal for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, which I have covered earlier on in the video. But yeah, we need a right back and we need another centre back. We need an Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm happy with Wan-Bissaka all day of the week. Thank you very much, Crystal Palace. 55 million. I'll do the deal now. Thank you. Right, on the plane to the pre-season tour. Now, obviously, the centre back is the priority for me. Do you go for a Harry Maguire? What is the story with a De Ligt? What is the story with a Koulibaly? You know, with De Ligt, I think he'll obviously turn us down. I don't think that he will choose United. We're offering big money, but I have more respect for him going to a different. If he goes to PSG, then he's a clown, really, because what's PSG? Do you know what I mean? Look what happened to Neymar since he's left Barcelona. You know, who would you prefer with centre back? So, Ruben, thank you very much for interacting with me again. I really appreciate having a chat with me and being involved. Really appreciate. Fellow Chelsea fan, top guy. Who would I like at centre back? Right. So obviously, personally, I would like to get Phil Jones, and I would like to get one more other defender out the door, maybe Smalling. But I do like Smalling, the Argentinian fellow. I would like out. Lindelof for me deserves to start at the end of next season. What's your opinion on Lindelof? How do you see him as a good enough centre back? Obviously, I don't expect you to have seen him too much. He's obviously had been in the news where he has made a lot of mistakes, especially against Huddersfield. But I can tell you from a Man United perspective, he probably has been our best centre back consistently last season. So for me, Lindelof has to start, deserves a spot next season at the start of next season as centre back. He is good with the ball at his feet, which is, I think, critical in today's footballing world. The way that football is going, the fact that you need centre backs that can pass around the back, that are able to distribute the ball. I've heard about him, although not much about playing. Yeah, so like I said, I don't expect you to know too much. So like I've said, good with the ball at his feet. However, in the air is where he struggles. And now he's kind of shown glimmers of improvement, but a lot needs to be done. But like I said, Vidic took a season to really grow into who he is. And I think with the confidence of Solskjaer, Lindelof can be a starting centre-back. Now, next to him is where where we really need to fill. Phil Jones and Chris Smalling have sat next to Lindelof last season. Neither of them need to be anywhere near our starting 11 next year. If you gave me a choice, for me personally, I want to say Koulibaly. You would get him for 110, 120 million. Will our board ever pay that? I don't think they will. He's 27, 28, in his prime, beast, would come in, sort us right out. That is who I think I want. You've got him for 5-6 seasons, and then you've got the likes of Twanzebe coming through the youth. So for me personally, Koulibaly, but I just don't see it happening. Our board's tight. They're not going to spend the money. And to be honest, Napoli don't want to sell, and Koulibaly loves Napoli, and he's never going to push the move. What's your thoughts about Oli as manager? Right, I'll get into that. De Ligt is my second, but I don't think he'll choose us. And then Harry Maguire is our third, but I think he will be joining Man City potentially. You know, if you're Harry Maguire and Man City and United come, who are you going to pick? You know, look what happened to Fred and Sanchez, who both have picked United over City because of the money. I would absolutely love Harry Maguire. I know he's not your very what's the word I'm looking for? You know, star-studded headliner centre back. But for me personally, he will sort us right out. So yeah, Harry Maguire, and then after that, it's difficult. You're thinking Ruben Diaz of Portugal, he looks solid, or do you go for a Manolas? It's difficult. It's difficult. But yeah, centre back is definitely needing sorting. Now, what do I think about Ollie? Thank you for your comment, Ruben. Again, top man. What do I think about Ollie? Now, it's difficult, right? From on paper, he shouldn't be Manchester United manager. It's simple as that. On paper, he should not. Cardiff's in history ever manager. Cardiff gotten relegated. Now, I don't want to go too much in detail on that, but there is a lot of external and internal factors which contribute to that fact. What he wanted to do at Cardiff, I like, but he made a lot of mistakes, and I think he you've got to make mistakes in life in general. You need to make mistakes. You can't be afraid of mistakes. You can't be afraid of failure. And he got a whole load of them. He's had a whole lot of them failures and mistakes and whatnot with Manchester United and with Cardiff. It's just whether or not you can learn from them and move forward and make better decisions in the future because of the fact that you've learned and made those mistakes. Now, the last 12 games in Chelsea, we have young centre-backs such as Christensen and Ampadu. I've never heard of the other guy. Yeah, so what's the story with your centre-backs? You've got, obviously, Christensen, he looked decent. David Luiz, what's the story with him? Is he good enough? What about Rudiger? The German Rudiger, he's looked solid when I've seen him. What's your opinion on Rudiger? With Ollie, now, because of how good it was at the beginning under Ollie, that is what has made me feel like, given a good team, given a squad that believes in him, can he replicate the first 3 months of Manchester United? And I do think he will. I do think he can. Rashford was in form, Pogba was in form, Martial was in form. And the squad was playing well when we were seeing Manchester United football. Rudiger is out for the start of the season in the Prem because of an injury. Oh, really? Bloody hell! I tell you what, Chelsea, you ain't had a lot of luck, have you? You fucking, sorry for swearing, but yeah, you've got your Rudiger's out for the season. You've sold Hazard, transfer ban. You don't know who your manager is. I can understand how you're feeling, because we've felt like that for the last 6 years. So how do you feel personally as a Chelsea fan? Are you worried? Do you feel like, although you've gone through a lot of trouble, you'll get through it? And what's your hope? But August 8th, which I think is the start of the season, Liverpool. I think Manchester United, Chelsea. I've just realised we actually have you first game of the season Sunday at 4:00, which I think is the game of the opening game of the season. And from a United perspective, I'll tell you, I've got to be very, very happy hearing that the likes of Rudiger is out injured, because I think he's a top centre back, and he scored against us, didn't he? Well, he didn't technically score, but he obviously shot. De Gea fumbled in. I think your left back, the Spanish fella, tapped it in. I've just realised. So we've obviously got Chelsea first game of the season, which will be very, very interesting. So it'll be a good spectacle, something to look forward to. Wish you the best of luck, obviously, but I'm hoping for 3 points. We'll see. Listen, Ruben, I really, really, really appreciate you having a chat with me today. I really do appreciate it. I like the fact you're a chat and you've come on here and you're having a chat. Listen, I plan on doing many more streams and to come. Football in general, not just Manchester United. I'm here to talk about Chelsea. I'm here to talk about other clubs. So again, I just want to give you a shout out and say thank you very much for taking the time out of your day and sharing this conversation with me. I really, really do appreciate it. Hopefully you've given us a subscribe and a like on the channel, and I look forward to hearing you again on my next stream, and hopefully better news for both of us. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, if you're still here, thank you for watching. I'm going to call it. It's Friday. I'm going to get myself down the pub. I'm going to have a few bevies and enjoy myself while the sun is out. But yeah, I wish you a great weekend. Have fun, be responsible, have a good time and all that malarkey. And let's hope for better news in the footballing world, and let's hope for a bit of excitement, because obviously it's coming into the early July, end of June. Bye. Thank you very much, Ruben. Cheers for your time, mate. Big appreciation, top fella. And I'll leave you there, lads. Ruben, see you next time on the stream. I will see you next time on your stream. Thank you very much, Ruben. Top man. I really appreciate you. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, boys. Have a good weekend. Look after yourselves, and I will see you in a bit. Sweet lads. Thank you very much.